Oh, good God, I wanted to review on this ever since I saw it. No one seemed to have made a review for this, so I guess I'm the first one to do it. Anyways, I think you already know, guys, there are tons of My Little Pony crossovers, for example with Thomas the Tank Engine. But what if I tell you that they also do Dragon Ball and Monster of those crossovers? Now, I've seen a bunch of them, and many of them shipping Goku to Equestrian Girls. For example, Fluttershy, Sunset, etc. The biggest example of it is Sunset and Goku. And well, it's still pretty cringe and sucks. Why? Sunset is 17 to 18 years old, and Goku is in his 15 years old. It wouldn't make sense that doesn't make sense at all. Well, even if it's in my mind, it is, but this is the reason why crossover ships don't work. And it counts also as pedophilia. It's even worse, much worse than how Victoria the Beyonder 2000 Chicago with Lenny Loud for the Loud House. And there's none other crossover, well, one of them, that takes it way too seriously much. And that crossover is Dragon Ball, Un Mundo Mágico, aka A Magical World, made by Goku Blue. Now, let me start a bit of explanation. Goku Blue is a user that does crossovers of Dragon Ball, so many shows and movies. The Lion Guard, Frozen, and Tank. So far, he did crossovers of that. And well, what's it about? It's basically the same as POOH'S Adventure style, with Loquendo voices, obviously. Now, I'm not saying he's terrible, but he at least needs to improve his content a little bit. Or heck, has he even saw documentaries on why POOH'S Adventures styles are awful? Well, not that quite in the slightest as I see in my perspective. Now, it's great that he needs Spanish voice actors like Silsa Luna, but didn't she say that Goku at Sunset is pedophilia? Okay, I know. In the original series of Dragon Ball, as I said, Goku is like 12 or 18 years old, but the amount of images they are, it would be very confusing on how old is he? Or what's going on with the plot anyways, for God's sake. Not even adding special effects to it fixes it all. It was great that Seals and Luna sing My Past Is Love Today and Let It Rain. That's cool, since Let It Rain never got a Spanish dub song. Similar to Thomas Latino Uno, bringing Diego Brizu to dub Thomas Goes Fishing and him also dubbing season 6 to 7. But anyways, now with that out of the way, let's get to watching Dragon Ball, A Magical World. Oh boy, I really hope I don't push myself this time as how I originally did on reviewing Easily Grilled in a Loud House fan, which we don't talk about that anymore. Now remember, if any of you like this series, I will handle and respect your opinions. But remember, this also goes to you, Goku Blue. This is only constructive criticism and my opinion. Everyone has different opinions. And this is my way on how I would fix this. You don't have to agree with me. That's on your own. And I bet you already saw my last Grounded and Punishment Day video on how I did it my way. But anyways, now, let's roll. Okay, the first and second episode were rating good. We're starting surprisingly good this time on reviewing something. Thank goodness that's a change that's different. Okay, what? I'm now in the third episode and there's already issues. First, CIT Twilight let the Haunt of Midnight Sparkle go in the Legend of Everfree movie. You can't just have her be afraid of that again. That's completely, I say, character reversing. Similar to how the Renner era of Thomas treated the characters there. In that era, the characters were back to their original personas, but the issue is that they forgot the lessons they learned. Yeah, you heard me. The lessons they learned. At least if you're going to portray the characters in their original personas, still do, but have them learn their lessons they had, or try to avoid those mistakes they did. Not reverse them. And it pretty much looks like a Magical World 2 will actually do that again. Fandom fancy alert! Second of all, another Friendship Games event? Not that bad, I guess. I would say Sunset regretting all that scene. spicy, but wow. So this takes place in 2019. Well, episode 4 was decent at best, nothing to say about it. Okay, episode 5 was just confusing as heck. Like, what the hell was the point about friendship games and then a fall forward? Like, what the hell? Okay, you just can't have two whole events recycling the same formula of friendship games and the first Booster Cross movie all over again. Literally, all the time. This makes no sense in the slightest. Well, in my opinion, not even when the Shadow Balls hire the Dazzlings as their team, and the Dazzlings being Shadow Balls is something that, you guessed it, fandom fanfare alert! Okay, in episode 6, Make Up, Shake Up, a Photobot story, Embrace This Recall, all have been better if they take place in the first movie. Good Sunset, this is disgusting! Again with Sunset regretting her actions? Come on! Character growth? Character development? More? Hello? Ugh, it's official. There's no way this series can improve. Goku and Sunset having a daughter? No. That's it. I can't deal watching this shit anymore. I thought it wouldn't be that much about if I watch it again. But no. It's worse than I remember it would be. There's no way I'm going to watch the second movie and saga of episodes. No. Freaking way. But before that, great, you forgot to talk about the first movie and episodes 7 and 8. Don't worry. The reason why I skip them here, you'll see. The movie in total is totally average. Look, it's great that Sunset now became the new princess of friendship. It was a blast seeing Silsa and Luna voice and narrating her at the end. But the way how it spooks adventures one of these style, it makes one to just go watch Teen Alzheimer's crossovers, even on Google Photos, even though they aren't better. At least they don't do most of this all the time. Something like this, even though they also do crossover special effects in other movies. Even shipping characters with engines and etc. And you know what that means. But, in all honesty, if I'm going to be true, I'd rather watch their crossovers than this garbage, which I will never do after reviewing it, thankfully. MLP movie reference here, but it could have been much better if Sunset snapped out. I mean, someone did what if CIT defends herself, and that's pretty cool. Why not here? If you already have references to it, why not use this one? And look, it's nice that the pony's counterparts reference. That's cool. Oh boy! Get ready to hear a bunch of issues with episode 8. The episode that, in my opinion, was the worst that I've been saving it so far. And Okay. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. This is not jumping the shark. Repeat that again. This is not jumping the shark. No. This is jumping the shark, coming back, shooting it in the balls, raping it, eating its flesh, consuming its soul, mounting its head on the wall, and then doing the same thing to 12 more fucking sharks just to be safe. I can't even begin to describe the amount of issues this ought to... Fuck! What was the point of CIT Twilight summing it up make my sparkle again? Why the fuck is Sunset always fucking regretful 24/7 in this fucking shitty movie? Why the fuck are Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Pinky, and Applejack are absolute horseshits to Mushu, Timba, and Pumbaa right after we saw in episode 7 their regretful faces when Goku leaves them? Why? No. As I said in a community post, the apology they did to Sunset and Goku feels, in my opinion, very, very forced. Why doesn't, I don't know, a bit like what happened in the My Little Pony movie. Goku in danger, Sunset and her friends go rescue him, and so that will fix the apology. Or in fact, prove where you get the inspirations and references in it, Goku Blue, because people will criticize you, or rant on you, or call you out for ripping several things of movies, shows, episodes, etc., etc. Like how Bosher Blue was in his Alfred Saga movies. Even me with the original versions of my Team of Special Defense Adventures movie, which a username in WP has already did in my original version of Link Allows Heartbreak, which is getting soon a remake in the future. So stay tuned for that. Okay, the scene of Goku, Discord, and Sunset convincing the Destinies could have been also written better. So, with all those issues and problems, that is literally every single problem and issues and inconsistencies I have with Dragon Ball and Magical World by Goku. And, well, it may not be one of the most worstest crossovers things I have ever watched in my life. I mean, there's hardly more, unlike the Loud House Family Easily Broken, and that sounded really, really angry. But it's still, by far, in my opinion, the most cringiest crossover I ever seen so far. I seriously don't know how each time I think it's worse, I see stuff that's way worse and cringy put together. So anyways, after that, like with Easily Broken, I won't have to talk about this anymore. It's going to take me a while to see Equestria grows in the same way I did. So with that, get this cringy, disgusting crossover out of here! Well, that's all for today, guys. Remember, don't become a POOH'S Adventures wannabe style user. Just before you do a crossover, watch why POOH'S Adventures are trash in Spanish or in other languages. Link in the description below. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this review, and remember, Goku Blue, this is not for harassment, this is not for cyberbullying in any shape or form, it's constructive criticism. I may have someone get angry, but everyone has different opinions. You don't have to agree with my opinion if you don't want to. Just keep what you're doing, but I won't see your projects. Thank you very much. Well, that's all for now. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. This is me, Brett, signing off.